Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Today we're February the 20th, and if that number doesn't scare the living hell out of you, let me give you a reason why it probably should. February is the second actual month of winter, in my opinion, because November and December we don't really get much of a hard time. January started to get shitty, and then February, and we both know in March it's probably going to be as bad as it was in February. Might not have as much snow, but it's going to be freezing as hell. And if you're anything like me, you're sick and tired of this bipolar weather that we're getting. To make things worse, the weather predicting geniuses say that we're going to get ourselves another 10 to 15 centimeters of snow coming our way. Now, the one thing I want to know is, if we're capable of predicting the weather, if we're capable of building spaceships, if we have submarines that go invisible underwater, how on earth have we not come up with a system yet where we can change the trajectory of where the snow is coming? Now, hear me out. This might sound crazy, right? The reality is, all we have to do is derail it towards a place that needs it more than we do. Now, we know that we have enough snow, and we're more than content with the amount of snow that we have. It helps our economy and blah, 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 and whatever, the animals and this and that. And it's Canadian, and we like to play hockey, so we need to have some snow. That's cool. But there's some countries that are in drought year round. So why can't we just push some of this towards them? And both of us can be really happy, because the reality is we don't want more of it, and they could probably use a little bit of it. That being said, what really bothers me about the weather, it's not necessarily the snowfall itself, but it's about the government's complacency. The fact that the government complains, because clearly big words aren't my forte, the fact that the government complains about cleaning the snow. Now, we had a snowstorm about a week ago, right? It was 40 centimeters, felt something more like about 40 meters. The government decided to wait a day before the next snowfall to clean this shit. I don't know if it's a joke to them, but it's really not funny to me, because I am sick and tired of driving around trying to find spots to park my car, and then parking my car 20 freaking minutes away from my house and having to walk home. Like, it's hard enough to find parking in residential areas nowadays in summertime, let alone when there's banks of snow all over the place. And what really ticks me off is the fact that we have to play a probability game every time they're going to clean the snow. I'm not sure if I'm the only one, or if it's only around my area that they do this, but they put up that big orange poster saying that you can't park from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. That is a freaking 8-hour time slot. If I wanted to gamble and play with the odds, I would take my time and money to the casino, where I could actually win something from the outcome, whereas here, the only thing I'll win is my car being towed and a big fat ticket on my windshield. So, to make matters worse, most of the time, when they put the freaking 8-hour time slot, they only clean it at 2, 3, or 4 a.m. in the morning. So why not just give dedicated time slots to each area and then clean it that way? It's just like any other freaking company that gives you a 6 to 8 hour time slot before they deliver something. Like, get your shit together, people. It's 2019. If Amazon can deliver my product the next day, you can tell me precisely when the hell you're going to clean the snow, because I'm sick and tired of driving around my block waiting for you guys to clean the shit up. Get your shit together. Beautiful. Before anything else, guys, I would like to say that the podcast is, as usual, sponsored by what I find to be the most comfortable clothing in the world. The only reason why I'm not topless every single day, and that's Keep It Lean Apparel. If you like to be special, if you like to stand out, if you like to wear comfortable things, because if I can be honest with you guys, if they have boxers, I probably wear into boxers, so maybe that's the next thing they should be working on. But Keep It Lean Apparel is probably the right way to go. If you want to stand out, if you want to be original, no other better way to do it than by being a grown man wearing a pink t-shirt. So once again, That's keepitleanapparel.com. I usually put the link somewhere in the video or in the description at YouTube. And you guys have no excuse not to see it or not to go there unless you're Stevie Wonder and you're blind, which I apologize to anyone who's blind. And thank you for watching my video and taking the time. But once again, I'll repeat the link. It's keepitleanapparel.com. So you have no excuse. Stop being lazy and go for it. So, first of all, I'd like to say I recently started training again, which, believe it or not, it is not a myth. No, I did start training again. So the fat trainer hopefully will no longer be fat. Maybe I'll lose some weight, maybe not. You never know. My attraction to food is a little bit higher than everybody else's. But it's actually amazing to be back in the Iron Paradise, in the muscle sanctuary, in what is known as Gainesville, population, all of Instagram. So, I have to say that I genuinely do not miss the feeling of being sore. If you've never been sore before, even better for you. And for people who complain that they never get sore, I don't understand why you're complaining. There is nothing to be complaining about because there is no fun in needing help for putting on your t-shirt because your man boobs hurt so much because you were doing your push-ups incorrectly. I don't find it funny. I find it shitty because I'm having a hard time taking a shower. I'm having a hard time sleeping. I'm having a hard time drinking my coffee. I'm having a hard time being a functional human, which sucks because I have a hard time as it is and I do not need to be sore to make things worse. But on the real, what's been bothering me of late, and it was a problem ever since I started training, right? I've been training for about 8 years. What I don't understand is how on earth are the dumbbells all over the gym except for where they're supposed to be on the dumbbell rack. Now, if you guys don't know what a dumbbell rack, it's a beautiful rack looking like thing that has spots for each and every single dumbbell. And for people who are lazy dumb or lazy and dumb at the same time, they have stickers on them that tell you which dumbbell is supposed to go where. So what that means is when I go and reach for my dumbbells, I don't need the 40-pound dumbbell to be next to the 90-pound dumbbell because I'm not trying to lift that 90-pound dumbbell because I am not strong enough to do it yet. I want both 40s, hence why I was going towards the 40-pound dumbbell. Now, if you were strong enough to lift the freaking dumbbell down and take it to your spot, the least you can do is lift it back and put it back where you went from, because more than anything else, you should just consider it as another working set or a repetition where you don't really work much apart from your grip. But hey, at least you're doing all of us a favor and no one is wasting their time. Cool. And if you're not strong enough, I have an alternative. If you got it down simply to flex on Instagram and take a picture, walk up to the next biggest person in the gym, pat them on the shoulder, and be like, hey buddy, look, I messed up. I'm not strong enough to lift this weight up. Could you help me put it back? And trust me, most of them will have no problem doing it. They'll probably laugh at your face. They'll give you a little pat on your shoulder and they'll be like, hey buddy, no damn problem. Leave your ego at the freaking door. Do what you have to do. Simple as that. Don't waste everybody's time. Also, another thing that's puzzled me from the beginning, and I don't only say this because it is what I do for a living. I'm a personal trainer. I'm not only saying this to be harsh or to be critical, but what the hell are most of you personal trainers doing nowadays? I know the job title is simply a mask for a glorified babysitter because, to be honest, that's what we do. We just sit around, yell at people, tell them what to do, and make sure none of them get hurt. Which comes to the last part. Make sure none of them get hurt. To which I want to start a movement, a petition, let's say, or a night watch group of people, a gym watch group of people, so that when we see a personal trainer falsely or incorrectly training their client, I think we should all be responsible enough to walk up to that personal trainer and be like, hey dude, because most of the time it's a dude doing it incorrectly. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to have the entire female population get mad at me right now. There are female personal trainers. All I'm trying to say is most of the time the trainers that do the workouts incorrectly for their clients are dudes because we're lazy and we don't really pay attention to what our clients are doing. So if you see a personal trainer incorrectly train their client, I think once again we should be responsible enough to walk up to this person and be like, hey, what the flying F are you doing? Because it seems like your client is trying to gain some core strength, but I can hear their back yelling at me because they're about to snap it in half. And then just walk away. Don't even sit there. Don't play the bad guy. Just go out of your way a little bit to make them feel like, wait, maybe I'm doing something incorrectly. Because most of the time, these trainers are just gazing into nowhere. They're on their phones, or they're just talking to some other person. If they're a guy, most of the time they're trying to chat up a babe. And if they're a female, majority of the time, I'm sorry if you guys are going to get mad about this, but they're stuck looking at their butts through a mirror because that's the only thing that they're fascinated by. So if I see your client doing something incorrectly, from now on, I am going to approach you. And I'm going to ask you what the hell you're doing. Maybe you can enlighten me, and maybe if you give me a smart enough answer, I'll take you on as a personal trainer as well. But come on. It is your job to properly ensure that this client is doing things correctly. And if you can't make sure that that happens, then the client is putting his or her time in waste, and they're putting their body in jeopardy because they're trusting you with the exercises. Most of these people come to personal trainers because they don't know what they're doing in the gym. And if you don't know what you're doing, that's a lose-lose situation. Two negatives in this situation do not make a positive. Also, here's a big non-popular idea. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Stop copying every exercise you see on Instagram through other fitness people. Just because some jacked up dude is doing squats on a Swiss ball doesn't mean your client should be doing squats on a Swiss ball. It's not safe. Okay? So, just because you see a person squatting 4 plates on a Bosu ball, maybe your client shouldn't be squatting 4 plates on a Bosu ball. Leave those exercises to the people that are supposed to be doing those exercises and train your client in accordance to the way your client should be trained. Once again, unpopular opinion. It is mine. If you guys want to judge me, go for it. But if you're out here trying to destroy people's knees, ankles, whatever the hell it is, I don't think that is smart, nor is it safe. Once again, just my opinion. And last but not least, I want to go on to a quick note. And this goes out to mostly the gym creeps. I know some of you haven't showered in 4 or 5 days, but could you please do all of us a service and put on some goddamn deodorant, okay? I feel like hygiene is still very important. It's not a thing of the past yet. You should still take care of yourself, because although every single gym has that big fancy sign that requires you to have a towel, none of us usually do, which is all right, because most of us don't usually sweat out of every single gland in our body. And when we do, we don't sweat stinky sweat, because some of us take care of our bodies, i.e. using deodorant or taking a goddamn shower. So if you're not taking a shower, and if you're not using deodorant, the least you can do is get off your lazy butt, walk up to the cleaning station, take the Windex or whatever they have there, the cleaning material, come back to your bench, spray it down, because the next person who's going to put their face where you last sweat is not going to enjoy waking up to pimples and red marks the next day. Once again, just an unpopular opinion, but hey, that's what I do over here. You got to take care of each other, and we got to take care of everybody in the gym. It is a community. So that being said, I am really happy that a lot of people have started their fitness journeys, and I genuinely cannot wait to see all of your pictures from Beach Club and from Picnic. Most men who are wider than they are tall, and for some reason all of you have the same tribal tattoo or you have nipple piercings. And for the women who for some reason weigh 120 pounds and 105 of it being your booties, don't let anybody pop your bubble. It is your world. Do you, beautiful people. So, I think I'm going to cut the podcast short for today. Going to leave it at that. Going to go get myself a nice meal. And then I'm going to go to the gym, lift some weights. Happy hump day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesdays.